Have you ever noticed how some women just walk into a room and instantly command respect and admiration without saying a single word? It is not necessarily about how much money they have in the bank or whether they are wearing head-to-toe designer labels. In fact, some of the wealthiest women in the world dress with a quiet simplicity that you might miss if you weren't paying attention. On the flip side, there are certain clothing choices that, no matter how much you actually spent on them, trick the eye into thinking an outfit looks cheap, unrefined, or as if you've simply stopped caring about your presentation. We've all been there, catching a glimpse of ourselves in a storefront window and realizing that the outfit we thought was fine actually looks a bit bedraggled or dated. Especially as we cross the threshold of 60 and beyond, the line between looking effortlessly elegant and looking like we've struggled to pull ourselves together becomes much finer. Today, we are going to talk about the 7 clothing choices that can unintentionally make you look poor or neglected, and more importantly, the simple high-end swaps you can make right now to ensure you always look polished, sophisticated, and like a woman of substance. Let's jump right into the first and perhaps the most common mistake, and that is wearing clothes with visible signs of wear and tear that we think no one else notices. We all have that one favorite cardigan, or that pair of trousers that fits us like a glove, but we've owned them for 10 years. Over time, fabrics begin to pill, colors fade just a tiny bit, and mystery stings or tiny snags start to appear. You might think, oh, it's just a little bit of pilling under the arms. No one will see it. But the truth is, the human eye is incredibly sharp at picking up on texture. When your clothes have those tiny little fuzzballs, or if the black of your trousers has turned a slightly dusty charcoal from too many trips through the washing machine, it sends a message of stagnation. It suggests that your wardrobe hasn't been updated in a long time. To fix this, you don't need to go on a $1,000 shopping spree. You just need a fabric shaver and a more discerning eye. If a garment is faded beyond rescue, it is time to let it go. Replace those tired pieces with high-quality natural fibers like heavy cotton, wool, or silk. These materials age much more gracefully and maintain their saturated color and crisp texture far longer than synthetic blends. A crisp, deep navy wool sweater will always look more expensive than a pilled, faded acrylic one. Moving on to the second choice that can really drag down your perceived value, and that is ill-fitting undergarments. This is a topic many people shy away from, but as we age, our bodies shift and move. If you are wearing a bra that is 5 years old or the wrong size, it changes your entire silhouette. It can cause bulging in the back, or lead to a sagging bust line that sits too close to your waist. This creates a cluttered, disorganized look to your torso, making even a beautiful silk blouse look sloppy and cheap. Looking expensive is all about the architecture of your body. When your foundation is solid, your clothes hang perfectly. Go for a professional bra fitting once a year. When your bust is lifted and supported, it creates a clear space between your chest and your waist, which instantly makes you look slimmer, taller, and more refined. It is the secret weapon of every elegant woman over 60. Investing in high-quality, seamless undergarments is the most cost-effective way to make your entire wardrobe look like it was custom-made for you. Choice number 3 is a big one in the world of modern fashion, and that is the over-reliance on loud, oversized logos. There was a time, perhaps in the 90s or early 200s, where carrying a bag covered in brand initials was a status symbol. Today, for women of a certain age and elegance, it has the opposite effect. When you wear a giant logo across your chest or carry a bag that screams the brand name, it can look like you are trying too hard to prove your worth. It suggests that you need the brand to speak for you because your own style isn't strong enough. Truly wealthy aesthetic, often called quiet luxury, is about the quality of the leather, the perfection of the stitching, and the drape of the fabric. To elevate your look, swap the logo-heavy items for stealth, luxury. Choose a beautiful leather handbag with minimal hardware and no visible branding. Choose a classic trench coat or a blazer based on its cut and fabric rather than the label inside the collar. When people can't tell exactly where you bought something, but they can tell it is beautiful, you create an air of mystery and high status that a logo could never provide. The fourth mistake that can make an outfit look poor is wearing shoes that are scuffed, dirty, or have worn down heels. We often focus so much on our tops and trousers that we forget people look at our feet. Footwear is the foundation of your entire presentation. If you are wearing a lovely outfit but your shoes have salt stains from 3 winters ago, or the heel cap has worn down so that the metal is clicking on the floor, it ruins the entire illusion of elegance. It signals a lack of attention to detail. To fix this, make shoe maintenance a ritual. Keep a small polishing kit at home and use it. If your favorite leather boots are looking a bit tired, take them to a cobbler. For a small fee, they can replace the heels and buff the leather so they look brand new. Also, be careful with the style of shoe. Avoid clunky, purely functional orthopedic shoes if you don't strictly need them for medical reasons. There are so many brands now that offer incredible support in sleek, almond toe flats or stylish loafers. A clean, polished shoe is the hallmark of a woman who values herself and her appearance. Let's talk about mistake number 5, which is wearing fabrics that are too thin or too shiny. As we get older, we want our fabrics to work for us, providing a bit of a smooth finish to our silhouette. Thin, flimsy polyester or rayon blends tend to cling to every curve and bump, often highlighting undergarment lines and skin texture in a way that looks very inexpensive. Similarly, fabrics with a high synthetic shine can look a bit costumey or cheap under bright lights. To achieve a high-end look, you want to move toward matte textures and substantial weights. Think of a heavy silk crepe, a crisp linen, or a high-quality gabardine. These fabrics have a natural heft to them. They drape over the body rather than clinging to it. When a fabric has a bit of weight, it flows as you move, giving you that regal, effortless appearance that we associate with classic style icons. If you love a bit of shine, keep it to your accessories like a silk scarf or a piece of jewelry, rather than an entire blouse or skirt. The 6th clothing choice that can make you look poor is wearing outdated jewelry sets or too much junk jewelry. We all have those collections of colorful plastic beads or heavy, dated metal sets that we've accumulated over the decades. While they might be fun, wearing too much of it at once can look cluttered and distracting. It can lean into that eccentric look that, while sometimes artistic, often reads as disorganized rather than intentional. To look more sophisticated, adopt the less is more philosophy. Instead of 5 different rings and 3 layered plastic necklaces, choose one high-quality statement piece. Perhaps it's a beautiful pair of gold hoops, a single strand of high-quality pearls, or a classic watch with a leather strap. Real jewelry, or very high-quality demi-fine jewelry, has a specific weight and luster that reflects light beautifully on mature skin. It doesn't have to be diamonds and rubies, but it should look like it has some history and quality behind it. A single, well-chosen piece of jewelry acts as an exclamation point to your outfit, whereas too much cheap jewelry acts like background noise. The 7th and final choice is perhaps the most invisible but impactful, and that is ignoring the importance of ironing or steaming your clothes. You could be wearing a $3,000 designer suit, but if it is covered in wrinkles from being crumpled in your closet, it will look like you found it at the bottom of a bargain bin. Wrinkles scream, "I am in a rush," or "I don't care." Wealthy style is characterized by a certain crispness and order. It looks like you have the time and the resources to ensure your presentation is perfect. Taking 5 minutes in the morning to run a steamer over your blouse or to press the creases in your trousers can elevate an outfit from a 5 to a 10 instantly. It shows a level of self-respect that is deeply associated with high status. If you hate ironing, look for fabrics that are naturally wrinkle-resistant, like wool jersey or high-quality knits, but never walk out the door in a rumpled garment. Now that we've covered the mistakes, let's talk about the common thread that ties them all together, and that is intentionality. Looking expensive is not about a dollar amount. It is about the feeling that every single thing you are wearing was a conscious choice. It is about the harmony between the pieces. When you choose a monochromatic color palette, for example, wearing different shades of the same color like cream, beige, and tan, you create a visual language of luxury. It is a look that says you have curated your life. Monochromatic dressing is one of the easiest ways to look like you spend a fortune on your clothes, even if you are shopping at high street brands. It creates a long, elegant line that is incredibly flattering for women over 60. Another tip for looking polished is to pay attention to your grooming as part of your outfit. Your hair and your nails are just as much a part of your clothing as your blouse. You don't need a complicated hairstyle, but a clean, modern cut that is well maintained does wonders. Similarly, you don't need long acrylic nails, but clean, shaped nails with a clear coat or a neutral polish communicate that you pay attention to the details. This level of grooming is what separates the women who look put together from those who look like they are struggling. It's about being finished. When your hair is neat, your shoes are polished, and your clothes are pressed, you have a shield of elegance that protects you in any social situation. We should also talk about the 3rd piece rule. This is a styling secret used by top fashion editors to make any outfit look more expensive. The first piece is your top. The second is your bottom. And the third piece is what completes the look. Like a blazer, a structured cardigan, a trench coat, or a large silk wrap. The third piece adds layers and depth to your outfit. It suggests that you didn't just get dressed to be covered, you got dressed to be seen. For women of our age, a well-structured blazer is the ultimate third piece. It squares off the shoulders, provides a bit of a waistline even if you don't have one, and adds an instant air of authority and class. You can wear a simple white t-shirt and jeans, but the moment you add a high-quality navy blazer, you look like $1,000,000. Think about your bags as well. Many women carry around giant, shapeless tote bags that are stuffed to the brim with things they don't need. These bags often get battered and lose their shape, which contributes to a disorganized, poor look. Instead, look for a structured handbag. A bag that can stand up on its own when you put it on a table is much more sophisticated. It keeps your belongings organized and keeps your silhouette clean. You don't need to carry your whole life with you every day. A smaller, more intentional bag forces you to edit what you carry, which in turn helps you move through the world with more grace and less physical burden. Let's re-examine color. While we mentioned monochromatic dressing, we should also talk about the rich colors. Deep emerald greens, rich burgundies, navy blues, and charcoal grays are colors that traditionally look more expensive than bright, neon, or very pale pastel shades. These deep tones have a psychological weight to them. They feel grounded and stable. When you wear these colors in high-quality fabrics, you evoke a sense of heritage and timelessness. If you love color, try to find the muted version of your favorite shade. Instead of a bright primary yellow, try a deep mustard or a soft gold. These nuances in color choice are the hallmarks of a sophisticated palette. Another subtle mistake is wearing too many trends at once. When we see a woman of 60 wearing the latest teenage trend from head to toe, it can look a bit desperate, like she is trying to cling to a youth that has passed. True elegance lies in knowing what works for you, and then adding just a tiny dash of the current moment. Maybe it's a modern shoe or a contemporary earring, but the core of your outfit should be timeless. A classic white shirt, a beautiful pair of wool trousers, a cashmere sweater. These items never go out of style, and they never look poor because they aren't tied to a specific fleeting moment in time. They are pieces that could have been worn 40 years ago and can be worn 40 years from now. I also want to encourage you to look at your wardrobe as a collection of investments rather than a series of impulsive purchases. The poor look often comes from having a closet full of nothing to wear, pieces bought on sale that don't match anything else, or items that were good enough for a one-time event. When you stop buying the random pieces and start saving for the one high-quality piece, your style shifts. That one beautiful high-quality coat will serve you better and make you look better than 5 mediocre ones. It's about the cost per wear. If you wear that beautiful coat every day for 5 winters, its value is far higher than a cheap one that falls apart after a few months. Posture also plays a massive role in how expensive you look. You can be wearing the finest silk in the world, but if you are slouching or looking at the ground, the clothes will look sad. An elegant woman over 60 carries herself with a certain pride, shoulders back, head held high, and an easy, confident stride. This physical presence makes your clothes look better. It gives them movement and life. Imagine your clothes are a frame for your personality. You want that frame to be straight and sturdy. Taking a few minutes a day to work on your core strength or just being mindful of your posture can do more for your fashion than any new accessory. Let's talk briefly about denim. Some people think jeans are inherently casual or poor-looking. That is absolutely not true. A pair of dark wash, well-fitted jeans can look incredibly chic. The mistake is wearing jeans that are too tight, have too much distressing, or are a very light, faded wash. For a sophisticated look, stick to dark indigo or black denim with a straight or slightly wide leg. Pair them with a crisp shirt and a blazer, and you have the perfect smart casual outfit that looks expensive and modern. It shows that you are in tune with the times, but that you still value a polished appearance. Another key is the fit. Even the most expensive clothes look cheap if they don't fit your body. We often buy clothes off the rack and just hope for the best, but very few people are actually built to standard sizes. A woman who looks wealthy often has a tailor on speed dial. Little adjustments, like shortening a sleeve so it hits exactly at the wrist bone, or taking in the waist of a skirt so it doesn't bunch up, make a world of difference. When a garment is tailored to your specific measurements, it looks like it was created for you. It removes the stutter from an outfit, making everything look smooth and professional. Tailoring is the ultimate luxury that is actually quite affordable when you consider the impact it has. We also have to consider the noise of an outfit. Patterns can be beautiful, but very busy. Small patterns can sometimes look a bit cluttered and cheap. Large-scale prints or solid colors are generally easier to pull off and look more high-end. If you do go for a pattern, make sure it has a clean background and that the colors within the pattern harmonize with each other. Avoid mixing too many different patterns in one look, as it can become visually overwhelming. You want people to see you first, and your clothes second. A loud pattern often does the opposite. As we conclude, I want you to remember that your worth is not defined by your clothing, but your clothing is a tool you can use to tell the world how you want to be treated. When you avoid these 7 choices, the worn-out fabrics, the bad fit, the loud logos, the neglected shoes, the flimsy materials, the junk jewelry, and the wrinkles, you are telling the world that you are a woman of quality. You are showing that you have self-respect and that you appreciate the finer details of life. You are moving from being just another person to being a woman of style and substance. Start with your closet today. Go through and ruthlessly edit out anything that makes you feel less than spectacular. You don't need a huge wardrobe, you just need a better one. Every piece should be a yes. Every piece should make you feel like the best version of yourself. When you simplify and focus on quality, the confidence follows. You will find that you move through the world with a bit more grace and that people respond to you differently. It's a wonderful feeling to know that you look your best, and it's a feeling that every woman over 60 deserves to have every single day. Thank you for spending time with me today. I hope these insights give you the courage to refine your style and embrace the elegance that is your birthright. You have lived a long, beautiful life, and your clothing should be a celebration of that journey. Don't settle for good enough when you can be extraordinary. Take care of your clothes, take care of yourself, and keep showing the world the sophisticated, vibrant woman you are. I'll see you in the next one as we continue to explore the wonderful world of fashion and confidence for our best years. Stay polished, stay elegant, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.